Hi, I'm Terry.
And I'm Darren.
And we're a match made in Dubai.
Let's talk about you. Let's talk about me. Let's talk about love.
I'm from Cape Town, South Africa, and I've been in Dubai for 11 years.
I was originally born in Africa, a place called Zimbabwe, but I've spent most of my life, or at least half of it, in the UK. And I've only been here about a year and a half, and she's the reason I'm here.
It was quite a dramatic change for me. I was a very strong-willed career woman that didn't really have a lot of time for relationships.
I spent most of my time in the British Army, going to lots and lots of different places, very career-minded. And then I took some time out after that to travel around the world and do a bit of fun things. We were an arranged marriage. I was going out with a few girlfriends from time to time, but wasn't really doing all that well, and they decided that Terry was the girl for me. And so my sister lives in Dubai. She runs a film company here. And between her and her mother, they decided that Terry was the girl for me, and so they set us up.
Yes, we met on Skype.
So my mother is in Cape Town, and she's on Skype to my sister who's in Dubai. And surreptitiously we were asked to come along, and they'd invited Terry to dinner, and my mother invited me for dinner, and they left the Skype table and left the two of us to chat. 2011 I came here to come to a wedding and visit my sister. I was meant to stay 2 weeks, but I stayed 4 months. And then the only reason I had to go back is because I had a trip planned to go through Africa for a year. While I finished my trip, and Terry came out and joined me for certain stages.
Whenever I had leave, I would just find out which airport are you at in which country, and I would just fly in, and we would travel Zambia and Zimbabwe and Botswana. We went horse riding through the desert in the moonlight. It was really bright moonlight, it was cool. It was great.
And then basically I'd instructed all of the staff, so out in the middle of the desert there was a big rug, sofa, there was a nice fire, there was some champagne on ice, and it had all like the candles, like a little runway coming in, and as we rode in, we both dismounted, and then I signalled to the staff, gone, and it was just her and I.
Yeah.
So I was like the moon and the stars, and then I pulled this ring out. And when I first met Terry, she took her 4x4, put the tents and the camping chairs, and she drove me to Musandam. We camped on the beach. But the wind was howling, and I actually had to tie the tent to the wing mirror and to the alloys of the car, and it flapped all night.
So we didn't blow away.
And she didn't try and give up and go into a hotel, and I thought, this is a girl for me.
We got married in December 2012, so just shy of a year ago. And when we moved back to Dubai, I was still living in my tiny little one-bedroomed apartment just down the road from here. So it was myself, my husband, and our cat, and all of his stuff, and all of my stuff. So it was rather cozy, to say the least. So I think our first mission as a married couple was to find somewhere to live, somewhere appropriate to live. We found this place not long thereafter, and we secured it, paid our deposits, did our DWA, the usual Dubai runaround. So we're both pretty outdoorsy. I think that's an important thing, when we, especially in winter time or autumn time here in the UAE. We try and go camping, we try, be outdoors, enjoy the weather, because when the weather turns, then you have to sort of a prisoner in your own home. I think the British military instilled in Darren a very regimental way of life, whereas in Africa we're far more laid back and chilled out about most things. You have to be in Africa because that's just the way it is. So I think that's probably the army way.
Yeah, and Terry is just a little bit more laissez-faire, so we can run into difficulties there. I expect things to be done a certain way. When she doesn't deliver, I suppose I get, like a teenager, I get stroppy.
One of our main passions is travelling, and Dubai is just so perfectly slap bang in the middle of the globe. It just works amazingly for short trips, for long trips. You really can tick many countries off your list by settling in the UAE. The standard of living is amazing as well. The people are incredibly hospitable, and the opportunities abound. I mean, it really is, it does tick all the boxes for me. If it weren't for Dubai, I would never have met my husband.
Yeah, I think if it weren't for Dubai and Terry, I suppose I'd still be struggling in South Africa to sort of make ends meet. And although it's a beautiful place in Cape Town, you know, I think I'd probably still be single and, I don't know.
Let's talk about love.